All right. After a pretty long night, I'm happy to announce that my second project in the 1550 challenge is now launched, and I'm gonna show you and walk you through today on what I've decided to build this time around. If you're seeing me for the first time ever, I'm Lazar. I'm a no-code visual developer, and I embarked on a self-imposed challenge on January 1st, 2025, to build 50 projects in 50 weeks using only AI because I never wrote code in my life before. I'm gonna kick things off with an excuse first, I guess. Had a super busy week, and so I had to do 80% of the build for this app since 7 p.m. yesterday. So there's gonna be a lot of bugs, but we're gonna go through them live in this launch demo, I guess, if they occur. I'm gonna explain a little bit why I decided to do this project. How does the app work? What's the tech stack that I use? Things that I did for the first time ever, some of the challenges, and there were many challenges with this build, and then just give myself a final score like I did with my first app. If you again see me for the first time and you don't know what I released as my first ever build, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is 1550 Challenge, where you're going to see the first project and building my daily journaling app demo. So let's go back to this one though. The main reason why I built this app is because my girlfriend just started an event planning business for beach events like picnics, marriage proposals, baby showers, stuff like that. And it's in an area that's pretty good for any type of beach related events. The city we live in is also small and has a pretty big problem, I guess. We've so far in the last year and a half that we've been here met a ton of singles that are aged between 25 and 40, and heard firsthand from them that they're tired of the apps, they're tired of the dating experiences that they've had so far, and that they would like to try something new and meet people in person, right? So I just came up with this idea of like, why don't I build a very small scale, local based app to get these people to blind beach dates. Basically, this would be almost like a lead magnet for my girlfriend's business. So it would be a huge win for her and also win for the singles that are obviously getting more and more frustrated in our area, I guess. Um, the app itself works by having two types of user roles. So we have singles or users. Those are the people that sign up that want to get matched. When they sign up, they're prompted to fill out their profiles, fill out a pretty comprehensive questionnaire. We're not going to go through the whole questionnaire on this video because it will be a bit too long. And then from there, their profile basically gets created and sent into for the second user role, which is the admin, to review their answers, review their photos, review their socials, whatever else, and then look through the database to see if there's a potential compatible match. So this part is done half manually, half using AI, in the sense that we would need to build a match, but then leverage OpenAI to do a compatibility score, right? And then once we get the result, if the result is say above 90% match, at that point match gets created, and then the admin organizes the event, sends a notification to the users. They can decide to join the event, specify whatever preference they have for the picnic itself, the food, the drinks, the setup, whatever else. And then obviously the event hopefully gets held, everything goes well. And after that, users are prompted to leave the feedback for the organizer on how did the event go, how was the matching, how was the setup, all that jazz. For this setup, I used Lovable for front end, Supabase for backend, and as mentioned, OpenAI for compatibility analysis. This is not a mobile app. As a result, users can and should probably access it from mobile, but the admin panel is 100% optimized for desktop only. I couldn't fit all the elements that I needed. On my first build, and on every build, I always share like a key takeaway, like a key tip. And for me, the biggest takeaway that I can give to anybody watching this video is like, never spend 3 hours trying to fix a bug that is not relevant to the core app feature, right? So like you get bogged down into this spiral of fixing something, but you got to ask yourself, is this really relevant, and who is this relevant to? Like if we go back to the user roles for this app, the only important thing is the user experience of these people. I made a mistake this time around focusing on the user experience of the admin, right? Which was completely wrong and wasted a lot of time on that. Also, be extremely careful when you're fixing bugs in Lovable and similar visual tools, because you may think that the issue is on the front end side and you constantly ask it to fix something. Well, the problem is actually on the back end, and not even on like a, a vague part of the backend, but something like a simple RLS rule change or something like that, which again happened to me, and I'll show you later down the road when we get to the challenges section of like exactly what occurred. But let's move on now to the part of the video where I'm going to actually demo you the app. I'm going to demo the app from both users' point of view, so we can kick things off from a user point of view, right? So somebody that just got invited to use this app or found it online. Simple landing page. You'll see when we get to the final score this time around, I didn't get to optimize it for SEO at all. So I gave myself a 5 out of 10 there at best. Images load slow, and it's not, again, meta description, title, none of it is updated. But it's basically at least explaining to the users what's going on, what's the core of the app. There's a comparison analysis between traditional dating apps and this app. Again, for me, it's like this is the core thing. I think that you get a guaranteed date pretty much. You on the other apps, from what I've heard, you pay to maybe match, but then you get matched with fake profiles or people that never respond and stuff like that. People are prompted to complete their profile again, do a compatibility quiz, get matched, and then actually meet. Tells them a little bit about how the date's going to go, some placeholder success stories, I guess. And then from there, people can just click to get started. You're, as a new user, taken to the login screen. So for one of the next builds, I definitely need to work on building a separate logic for sign up or separate flow for sign up or for sign in. But for now, let's just click to sign up. I'm going to create an account right now. And one of the things that I was super proud, I turned it off for testing purposes, but I'm going to show you how I was able to create a verification email using just Lovable. So I made Lovable design emails for Supabase. So I was pretty proud of it because I haven't done this as comprehensive as I did any time before, right? So you can definitely struck Lovable and say, hey, I want a nice looking email for email verification purposes and whatnot. And I feel like it did a really good job, picked really good illustrations. I didn't do anything. I just said to it, like, I just want you to build an email template. And then I replicated it and reused it many, many times around across other verification emails that I had to do during the process. So as I mentioned, I'm not going to do too much here to show you. Basically, I'm just going to fill this out myself real quick and skip through the next part of the video, but it's fairly simple, right? You fill out your profile, your dating preferences, upload a couple of photos, optionally add social media, and then from there you go on to fill out a questionnaire. So we're gonna go through the process real quick, and then I'm gonna show you how that looks like on the admin side once the profile is completed. So let's say that I just filled out the profile real quick here, and I can go and save the profile. As you can see, there's a lot of questions on like lifestyle and events, and interests, personality and values, dating preferences, compatibility, questions of lots of sorts. There's a lot of free form questions, which I like because then AI is really good at analyzing those, as you know. type of activities that users enjoy, and then some pretty important stuff for, again, especially for people that are maybe about 30 or something like that, like stuff regarding children, level of education, occupation, if people find it important, and then obviously you can go and review your answer. So I'm going to fill it out and go back to the review screen. Okay, these are some of the dummy answers. You can see you can put in a lot of stuff here. And what I've done is, you can say you're ready to submit, make sure you read everything carefully. When you click submit, it proceeds to the final step. The questionnaire is complete, and then it just tells the user what are the next steps, which is, again, reaching out, setting availability, finding your match. You can continue to your profile. So what I've done is, like, I built like this lovable gal, and you'll see I have another profile built, which is the lovable guy. So we're going to try and match these two guys and see how compatible they are. And I can log in as the guy itself right now as well to show you his profile. And here's our guy, as I mentioned. As you can see, I added some social media links to his lovable's Instagram and LinkedIn. And, again, all of his profile settings are filled out. So let's go to the admin side of things now and match these two. So when I log in as an admin, the routing, which was the biggest pain in the butt to fix, takes me immediately to the admin dashboard, and from there I can see all of my potential matches and all of my singles, right? This is where I can see all of their questionnaire responses. I can decide to make them admins if I want to. I want to see all the users that either completed or are in pending completion of their questionnaire, because there's an option to save along the way. From there, I go to the match management, and as you can see, I've tried a couple of matches. So Jane and Joe matched at 92%, but Joe and Lovable Dev didn't match as much. But I right now want to see if I can get Lovable Dev and Lovable Gal to connect with each other. So basically, when I match them, I can run this analysis, which sends a call to the OpenAI API using an edge function. This thing took me forever to fix. That is the thing that I mentioned, spending 3 hours on. I can even illustrate that and show you. So I started last night at midnight exactly trying to fix this by adding the enhancement for text analysis, and got done at 2:36 a.m. After 30 something edits, just to make this thing not show zero. But in the end, it does the work. It just talks about both users. I should probably build a logic which uses their names at some point in the future if I want to. I'm not sure that I want to continue building this app, though. You can also, as admin, delete any matches that you feel are incompatible. The UI will refresh eventually, but they do get deleted. So if I just go and refresh the app and go back to match management, yeah, you can see that match is no longer there. Now, since these two guys, I still, even though they're at 66%, I still want to get them to meet. I'm just going to go and create a blind date for them, right? So, and it's going to be on CS.key, right? And then I will schedule it for today at noon, right? So PM, okay. Yeah, PM. And it's going to be till 1 p.m. Okay. And then I'll just click to create an event. So event's created, but we don't have any registrations yet. Now to get users to actually register, let's go back to the lovable guy here. And then when I refresh his profile, he should have had an event invitation. Obviously, to invite for him to have an invite invitation, I gotta invite him first. So my bad. So you click here, you select the user, you go and say, I want these two guys to be. So I want to register them for this event, right? Now, when I go back to my profile as the user, I should see the event registration. There it is. So I can go and say, okay, I'll accept the event. Now, I don't have any other controls until the other person accepts the event too. So let me log in as the gal. And now when I log in as the gal, I can click and accept. Now, since both users accepted that they want to participate in the event, new options are now added. So first of all, I'm giving them some date tips, like what to wear, guidelines, what to bring, activity guide on like what they can do, a nice success story, just to keep their chances of getting matched but boosted even further. They can click to add the event to Google Calendar, and they can click to plan the date, which allows them to say what type of preferences do they want on the drinks, on the setup, on whatever, which again helps my girlfriend with actually organizing the event itself. Both users are prompted to answer these questions. But in the meantime, the admin side should also reflect that both of them are now registered. As you can see, everything's confirmed. So me as admin, all I gotta do is be on this panel and I'll see what the event is, and I'll see the preferences, right? So the date itself is pending because it's supposed to occur a little bit later today, but I can see that little gal wants these things, right? So based on her answers, right? And then the final bit that's remaining is when the users are done, they give us their full feedback. So basically, after the event time and date pass, the user is prompted to then leave a review. I'll be honest, this has not been QA tested. I'm gonna pause the video now, wait for the event time, and then try to see if this is gonna work. Okay, so after applying some last minute fixes to try and make this bit work so that we can actually complete the demo, I added this new button, which kind of forces the event completion, just so that we can test the feedback portion of the app. So now the event is both confirmed and completed. So let's go back to the user profiles to leave feedback. You can see the front end side of Level Gal has changed into this provide feedback modal, and basically okay, all right. Submit feedback submitted, confirmation. We know that they had a blind date, everything went well from her point of view. And then I think that I should see this in the feedback management. So yeah, that's the app demo. Even at last minute, like this build has caused me tons of problems. But let's go back to some of the positives, I guess, of it. Like there's a few things I did for the first time in my life ever. This is the first time I've used like a base prompt template to build an app. And I think that really sets you up for success early on. So as you can see, I defined my target audience, core features, tech stack that I want to use, how the interface should look like, steps to build, like as lovable to read and understand and whatnot. And in future videos, I'm going to show a couple more tricks, but this is a decent way for those that just want to start building immediately without a perfect plan, at least nail down a pretty long prompt that is detailed. I also, as I mentioned, and as you saw, I did the super base email templates. I was honestly stunned. Like this was just one prompt, and it just created to me a pretty decent looking template just from like, hey, can you build this to look nice, right? I built a Google Calendar integration, which works. Um, I tried to set up this CMail client using Recent, so like it's custom SMTP and stuff like that, but that kind of didn't work out the way I thought it will. And this is the first time I built like a Wizard of Oz kind of an app where, the user doesn't know what's happening in the background, so there's some magic going on, but that magic is actually humans working through their matching. Um, I also went overboard with features. Think the build is super complex, quite honestly, for a project that you're supposed to launch within a week. So there's going to be a lot of maintenance and a lot of bugs if I ever want to continue building this. Actually, um, most problems occurred again because I focused so much attention on making the admin super comprehensive, having all of these things work perfectly, ability to do compatibility, have multiple matches for the same person, doing all of these event micromanagement things, the feedback, the whatnot, and that just kept breaking for whatever reason for me. Most probably because I did not properly define that I wanted to build that initially, so that wasn't originally a part of my plan. So again, proper planning saves a lot of time and a lot of headache later down the road. Um, I also had a lot of problems which I thought were front end, but they were actually back end. So I need to understand a little bit better how to prompt Lovable when I have a hinge that the issue is actually an RS a rule or something like that versus a front end issue. The fact that I built user roles needed to have a route protection, so admin route versus a user route versus a visitor route. That was more complex than I thought it would be. The app broke constantly, but I was able to fix it, and I got again a lot to learn about the recent stuff. So to complete this pretty long demo, I want to say I'm gonna give myself a 5 out of 10. The app works sort of, I guess. I This is the first time I actually tested it till the end. This is more of like the punishment for me to remember that I need to focus on the core features and really understand that MVP means minimum viable product. So it doesn't have to have all of these things working on day one. The landing page obviously needs to be a 5 just because I feel like the design is okay, but SEO hasn't been touched. So like I'm going live with it as is, and it's got to be a 5. So the final score is 5 out of 10. Um, I could have done a perfect 10, I think, if I just didn't complicate things too much. Um, Unlike the first app, which was kind of like a public app that anybody can use, this is more of a private build. So it's built just for us, for her business. Like it's never meant or should be meant to be used by anybody. But if you want to deploy it in your area, let's say you watched it, like, hey, this would be a cool app to try and demo in my neighborhood. DM me or send me a message wherever you're watching this. Leave a comment, and I'll send you instructions and provide you access so that you can clone and remix this project and just build your own version, connect your own backend infrastructure, your own OpenAI API, and everything else. And yeah, thanks for sticking out with me for almost 25 minutes. I'm going to get some well-deserved rest and sleep. And as for the rest of you guys, just keep shipping.